Please support the creation of my hypnosis content by contributing to my Patreon at patreon.com/missinkhnoir and receive exclusive rewards I'm sure you will enjoy. There is so much I would like to build with the support of our community, and I know that we can do it together. The following is a hypnosis session between us. I will be your hypnotist, and you will be my subject for this session. No assumptions or language regarding gender is included here. You will only be referred to as subject, friend, dear, and listener, and once, in an affectionate manner, encouraging your pursuit of pleasure. This file is designed to be more inclusive of people with disabilities or limitations. The purpose of this session is to improve the quality of your sexual experiences, and consequently, your overall well-being. To accomplish this, we will be talking about self-love, and I will guide you in making a kind and reasonable change in one or more habits. This will have a positive impact on your sexual fulfillment. The session does not describe direct sexual contact between us. The listener is guided through erotic thoughts and sensations. The tone is persuasive, demonstrative, encouraging, curiosity-provoking, and at times hypnotically authoritative. This file instructs you in somewhat strenuous physical practices. If you have very little or no experience in fitness, I encourage you to err on the side of caution and go easy as you are learning the feel of it. This phase of exploring how these exercises feel for you may persist for several listens of the file. This technique is an excellent method toward reaching our shared goal of increasing your pleasure. Never drive or operate heavy machinery while listening to hypnosis. Ensure you are in and will remain in privacy for the duration, and silence all devices. Have a good drink of water before beginning. This session will not be short. The experience is about to commence. Make all final preparations now. Relax and listen. Hello, friend. In this session, we'll be exploring the basic concepts of pleasure, how it is generated, what stands in its way, and how to clear obstacles between yourself and more pleasure. If you identify with a position on the asexuality spectrum, I want you to know this session was crafted with you in mind as well. If you should have a history of trauma or a medical condition that interferes with your sex life, of course my work is no substitute for the care of doctors and therapists, but this session may also help, depending on your situation. Basically, if you are interested in sex, I believe we can help you deepen your enjoyment. When I talk about sex, what I'm talking about is any sustained activity for the purpose of generating sexual pleasure and fulfillment. Sex does not require penis and vagina intercourse to be valid in the slightest, or any form of penetration, or even genital stimulation. It can be solo, in pairings, or groups of any size. All members must be willing participants. Sex does not have to have orgasms to be valid and fulfilling, but I do encourage regular orgasms, say, a few times a week generally, at minimum. But different things may be right for different people. Key elements of pleasure I imagine you're familiar with include the ebb and flow of tension and release. And we're going to begin by practicing just that. If you live with physical limitations of any kind, following the instructions to the degree with which you are comfortable, or substituting as needed, are both excellent. Just make any alterations necessary. As I guide you through this sequence of relaxation, you may notice that I'm bringing you deeper into hypnosis as well, something we both know you will like. If it appeals to you, you can feel a special, submissive kind of enjoyment in following my directions as I describe how I want your body to move. There are many ways someone can feel controlled by the kind of power I possess, and I approve of any that are attractive for you during this time. Find a comfortable position. We'll begin squeezing you out from top to bottom, pushing out any lingering concerns or toxic configurations of energy that may be inside you. For this exercise, you will tense a part of your body I name in the way I describe, and do so while breathing in for a count of 5, then releasing tension and your breath gradually, evenly, for a count of 7. Combining this slow, deep breathing with the tension and release exercise I'm about to guide you through is a very effective technique that you can use anytime to reduce stress, and it's going to help us a great deal in our goals in this session. If you're new to this practice, it will be natural if you stumble a bit or sometimes lose track of all the instructions, but there will be no need to stop. You will do just fine. It doesn't have to be perfect at all. Just perform as you are able, follow along, and sometime soon you will be pleasantly surprised at how much you learn. We begin with the hands and wrists. Make fists with your hands and pull them towards you at the wrist without moving your arms, inhaling as you do so, and reaching a healthy maximum of tension for 5 seconds. Then releasing gradually, slowly going slack and letting go, feeling comfort and calm spreading through your fingers and hands. Next, your arms. Bend your arms up at the elbows and touch your shoulders with your knuckles, tensing all the muscles in your arms. Be like a robot while you tense, stiff and unmoving as you inhale. And when you're releasing and exhaling for 7 seconds, you are becoming like a rag doll, getting totally limp and powerless. Noticing that sensation of comfort and calm spreading from your hands down your arms. Good. The third position is your shoulders. Raise your shoulders towards your ears. Hold them at a healthy point of high tension, counting in your mind the 5 seconds. And then letting go and gently drooping down as you exhale, counting to 7. Feeling peace and profound relaxation spreading through your body as you practice this. It feels so good. You're doing so great. And you don't have to be perfect at it. You learn by doing. Your mind and body are learning so much. Fourth is the forehead. Inhaling slowly, pull your eyebrows tightly together. Wrinkle your forehead. Feel the energy charging during this exercise of tension and releasing nicely, gradually, getting so relaxed, feeling so lovely. Fifth is the eyes. You simply shut your eyes tightly, feeling that energy concentrating and swirling, gathering your stress and concerns and toxicity, and flushing out as you release, letting your eyes remain closed. Bit by bit, unnecessary thoughts and ideas are being squeezed out of you, helping you feel the pleasure of focusing on my voice and learning what I have to share, letting go more and more, letting go more and more, letting your eyes rest closed as we proceed. 6th, nose and upper cheeks. Scrunch up your nose. Bring your upper lips and cheeks up toward your eyes. Inhaling and focusing on that feeling of tension for 5 seconds. And gently releasing as you exhale, letting your muscles gradually go slack. I want a controlled release of your tension. Practice making it nice and smooth and slow. Good. Finding your eyes rather want to remain closed, and that's making you slip deeper and deeper, and that feels very nice. 7th is the lips and lower face. Press your lips together, bringing the edges of your lips back toward your ears, letting go of stray thoughts, your focus settling on my words. Exhaling and letting go, nice and slowly, enjoying every increment of release, enjoying utter limpness. 8th is the tongue and mouth. With your teeth gently against each other, or your mouth otherwise closed with a mild tension, push your tongue on the roof of your mouth as you inhale for 5 seconds. Just taking you step by step on this process. And releasing and letting go gently, drifting down like a feather, just drooping down and spent. The 9th position is the neck. As you inhale slowly, either push your head back into the chair or bed, or push your chin down to your chest if you have no headrest, feeling the way the energy is being squeezed and released as you let go and relax. Exhaling and gradually releasing as you count 7 seconds. Have you noticed the pleasant sense of spaciousness and calm growing within you yet? 10th is the chest. Tense your pectoral muscles as you inhale deeply, able to enjoy following my directions without worry. Releasing and sinking deeply into my voice, listening to your body, being one with yourself. Excellent. If you happen to find your eyes open at some point, it's perfectly all right, and you can just relax and let them be closed again, finding you drop even deeper. 11th is the back. Arch your back as you inhale, bringing your shoulder blades together. Give me your best effort, being mindful to not overdo things. Releasing and settling back down, feeling yourself ever so slowly beginning to sink through the furniture. We're making such excellent progress. 12th is the stomach. Tense your abdominal muscles, nice and tightly, while inhaling deeply for 5 seconds. Your upper half feels so profoundly peaceful, releasing as you gently exhale. You feel so good as you move through this practice of squeezing tension out, feeling calm and a positive anticipation, a gentle eagerness as I walk you through this at the pace I set. The 13th position is the buttocks and groin. Squeeze the muscles in your butt, your sphincter, your kegels, all the muscles of the pubic and rear, holding as you inhale for 5 seconds. And releasing, feeling peace take its place, as we continue wringing you out of all that is unnecessary, preparing you for receptivity. 14th are your upper legs and thighs. Stretch your legs straight, tensing your thighs, inhaling to the count of 5, feeling so happy to be making this progress with me, and letting go, letting your legs and your body settle in your comfortable position, sinking further under my influence. 15th are the calves. Stretching the legs straight again, pointing your toes down. Feel the tension as you inhale, your muscles and tendons activating. Feeling happily controlled as you release, let go, and settle limply under my guidance. Just listening to the sound of my voice, and surrendering control to the unconscious, which is eagerly ready to work with me. You will be rewarded with so much pleasure. 16th and final are the ankles. Once more, with the legs stretched straight, point your toes together, with your heels out and toes curled under, breathing in deeply and calmly through this tension, feeling so excellent and so very glad as you release, exhale, gently settling into place, dropping into the free space of my hypnotic domain, open and focused on the sound of my voice. Good. Notice how deep you have become. Wonderful to feel yourself falling in hypnosis, safe under my guidance. And feeling wonderful in trance is so naturally appealing. Your unconscious mind wants to obey and continue to enjoy this, and will facilitate it for your benefit. The unconscious is much more powerful than the conscious mind, and it's going to keep the blissful experience of trance going while you're guided to do so. When you're deep and feeling great, your unconscious mind keeps your body still and relaxed until your hypnotist indicates otherwise, or circumstances genuinely necessitate it. So if you try to lift your arm, your unconscious is not going to let that happen. So, try to lift your arm and see how pleasurable it is when your unconscious won't let that signal proceed. On a deep level, you're letting yourself lose control, and that brings a wave of pleasure washing over you, as your unconscious rewards you for being a good subject, and that pleasure sucks you deeper under. Excellent. Surrendering more and more, giving up everything. No longer any reason to try to move or try to do anything, just obeying me. Now, rest deeply and float in the vast, open, inky, black expanse of your mind, feeling the blissful sensation of my voice flowing through you. If your attention happens to wander with a stray thought, you can just let it go and return to where you want to be right now, just resting your attention on my voice. No need to judge or criticize a momentary loss of focus. Just practicing with me is enough to know you are doing very well. Good. I want you to feel your body without moving, not with a hand, but with your mind. Feel how you are in it and connected with every part of it. There might be parts of your body which you've judged or been ashamed of in the past, and I invite you to consider that such feelings aren't necessary at all now. Imagine that you, your selfhood, is pleasantly filling up your body, starting with the end of your right index finger. Just imagine what the inside of it feels like. The inside of the end of your index finger, from the last knuckle to the tip. Feeling the inside. Feeling yourself there. And feeling more and more your whole finger. More fingers. The whole hand. Practicing feeling yourself inside, as this experience of your inner being continues to spread from your hand down your arm and through the whole of your body. And you can accept every part without thinking it is good or bad. You can see that it is, and that's a very good start for now. Accepting it doesn't mean it can't or won't change. It just means for right now, you can let it be just as it is. Now, imagine the vast network of your nervous system, spreading from the tips of your fingers and toes, winding throughout your limbs and your pelvis and your torso to the spinal column, the superhighway of the electrical signals that control your body. Going up that organic, flexible pillar, up your neck, nerves in your face and lips and scalp winding around to the spine and up into the brain. See all of that in your mind, for me. Good. Some people might have said in the past that the brain is where all the control happens, and the rest of the body is a slave, but the perspective I prefer is that the whole system can collaborate, and the brain is where information comes together the most, and can be most powerfully processed and decided upon. Feel your primary sexual areas. These are likely in the genitals, but can easily include your lips, breasts or chest, nipples, anus and rectum, and may even include places on the neck, the earlobes, the thighs, the inside of your arms, areas of the feet, and many other sensitive, intimate places. Your primary sexual areas are yours, and they are completely legitimate and true. Your sexual pleasure doesn't have to be like anyone else's. So just open up to your body and mind now and your natural experience of sexual excitement. If you have a judgmental or critical thought, we can just be aware of it, from our center of peace, deep in my hypnotic realm, and we can set it aside and move forward to engage with yourself as you are right now. You don't have to be like you were. And you don't have to be right now who you want to be in the future. We can let go of everything and just feel. Let's call to mind an erotic thought. I'll raise a variety of stimulating notions, and your mind can just latch on to whatever will turn you on most and disregard anything that isn't appealing. And what you're drawn to might change from one moment to the next, and that's okay. Follow where your pleasure leads. Just engage yourself now and imagine what excites you. Being near to someone you desire. Noticing a fetish of yours at an unexpected time. knowing you're going to play with yourself later, or any number of things that turn you on, toys and implements being used in ways that excite you, the bodies, the faces, the features of those you're attracted to, their breasts or chests, bimbos, cat girls, cat boys, and non-binaries, corsets, demon girls, gothic people, latex, a lovely pair of feet, heavy bondage, ass worship, maybe some really interesting and inventive fetishes like transformation, absorption, petrification, bad ends, aliens, oviposition, mind control, or just the heavenly subspace of being in a kneeling position or an equivalent, and feeling someone you trust standing over you, exuding power, their hand on your leash. Any of these or any other thoughts which come to you as you're getting turned on are good right now. Whichever impression your horny mind finds most appealing right now is the right one for you right now. I want you to focus on that feeling of arousal. The thought that's turning you on might shift or change, but as long as you are following your excitement, that's fine right now. Keep thinking lewd thoughts. There are so many things that can turn people on, and I think that's great. And everybody is entitled to their preferences. That's just the nature of sex. What it all comes down to is the excitement of tension building. Feel that pleasure in your body. Can you sense where it focuses? Where it radiates out to? Imagine the erotic signals of your mind and body coursing through your nervous system, venturing further beyond, not just in the parts you may typically focus on stimulating, but spreading out, swirling, flowing through you, practicing total sexual bodily awareness. Very good. The brain releases hormones which support sexual pleasure and interpret stimulation as pleasurable. This is completely hackable by having a diet, health, and fitness routine that facilitate healthy hormone and neurotransmitter levels, and understanding what you're using and doing to your body to generate these wonderful experiences. Right now, your body is doing so many things to provide you with a sexual experience. Dopamine and serotonin are being released, providing experiences of motivation, reward, well-being, and happiness. Norepinephrine dilating and constricting blood vessels, making your erogenous zones more sensitive. Your body is exerting itself, and this is why aftercare is so important following a robust round of sexual activity. When you're done wringing as much pleasure out of your body and mind as you can, the thing to do is to rehydrate. Have something sweet to eat. Have some dark chocolate if such poses no problem for you. Be affectionate with yourself and anyone with whom you shared the experience. These support the release of oxytocin, a hormone that promotes feelings of intimacy and closeness. This is very good for your sexual health and continued practice of maximizing sexual pleasure. Do you feel the way the sexual energy ebbs and flows? It moves in waves, sometimes unpredictable. It's completely normal for desire to recede during a sexual encounter, and just as normal for it to suddenly swell back up. It's perfectly alright for sex to end at any time. Nobody is owed an orgasm. Sex is not a failure without orgasm. We can look at it all as practice with the goal of exploration of ourselves and others, an exploration of pleasure. It's very appealing to come to sex with an open mind and a sense of curiosity. Just drift with me for a bit. Ask yourself how this experience has been for you thus far. Think about what appealed to you, what you responded to with instinctive eagerness, feeling the calm and peace of trance as I guide you in this experience. Able to observe and reflect, and also to enter fully into your experience. Think about any suggestions that gave you pause, or that you might not have been fully comfortable with at first. Remembering a food that you disliked a long time ago but enjoy now, and appreciating that you are an act of creation. You are a process, not static. You are a living, growing being, and obstacles between you and pleasure are not immutable. Obstacles can be gradually tunneled through, they can be navigated, they can be reconciled and worn down and transformed. Because if you ever feel like you are trapped, you might realize that you aren't just a prisoner, but also prison guard and prison bars. And anything about you can change. All of that can transform into something completely different. All I care about is your health and happiness and fulfillment. It's quite a journey of discovering the path that feels right to you, and seeing where it takes you. But for right now, you don't have to work at all. You don't have to try to understand yourself or anything. You can just listen to my voice and sink deep, feeling my voice flowing through you like a massaging wave, easing out your tension and concerns, helping you be limp like a rag doll, helping you be passive and accepting, helping you surrender to peace and happiness right now. Good. You know it makes me happy to see you practicing and finding the right balance between effort and release. Maybe you've been trying too hard for too long, dear. It's time to let go and let Miss Ink do the work for you. Time to let me guide you along an experience of relief and serenity. You're so good for practicing. Float along in this deep and vast pool of my hypnotic influence. And remember how we discussed letting go of judgments of your body. Being able to experience what is without perception of value. This is something every person is capable of with a little practice. And you can realize now that if you can let go of negative judgments of your body, then those judgments must have always been subjective. Regardless of where you got the idea from, any perceived authority on which it was based, you can see now that authority was not absolute. And if your perceptions of your body are subjective and you can accept what is simply as you are, then of course it's just as valid as anything to see your body and your features as good, pleasant, desirable, lovable. Aesthetic value judgments may all be subjective, So there's no reason not to see your value positively, in a way that supports your health and fulfillment. You don't need anyone else's approval. I offer you mine as well, though. You are alive. You deserve to exist. You can love yourself. And you will find that this mindset actually empowers you in making changes that you would like, even if that previously may have seemed counterintuitive to you. Because casting a negative judgment on yourself may be like trying to push yourself away. Beneficial change is made through collaboration. It's very hard to collaborate while pushing away. Like seeing a three-dimensional art installation create a different illusion when you look at it from a different place. This magical shift in perspective is beginning in you now. I can't say when it will be complete, but it has already begun within you. It might be fully in effect already, or you might realize later that you feel more positive about a part of your body or a feature of yours you viewed negatively in the past. You may even have an experience when you are looking upon yourself, and you realize you are at a moment where you can choose to approve, where you can choose to see the beauty in your body. There is beauty in everything that exists, and no one is in a better position to see the beauty of yourself than you. It may, in fact, be, in part, what you are here to do. When you experience this change in perspective, it may feel miraculous and life-changing, and it can be. But it's also relatively normal to experience a relapse in negative judgments and self-talk. Relapse is a common feature on the path of recovery, and it is not really a failure. I've had bad habits that took me many attempts to rectify. Every time I made the effort and broke through temporarily, I learned more. I established the new synaptic pathways more firmly, and progressed in eroding the old. So if you find you have a relapse in negative self-judgment, it is my wish for you to know that you don't have to judge yourself for having relapsed. And if you notice that you did judge yourself for relapsing, you don't have to judge your judging. You can stop that sequence at any time by practicing acceptance and release. You can learn about these things online, with mental health professionals, or in my community. And we'll talk more about how to do that in later sessions as well. Breathing deeply and slowly, relaxing and letting go and sinking under the surface of trance to more profound depths, where the sound of my voice and the ideas I'm slipping into your head is all you want. Just listen and obey. Great job. One common obstacle to maximizing sexual pleasure is a lack in self-acceptance and self-love. And I do want you to feel more pleasure. Your practice is enough to please me. It's key to have the capacity to be present and mindful, and things like aversion and attachment in excess are known to impair experience. Loving yourself will lead to a lot of pleasure, and I know you want that, you lewd, adorable little thing. Loving your body and being fully in your body requires practice, so let's talk about some good ways to do that. The practice of yoga, healthy posture, flexibility, and building stamina are all excellent ideas when it comes to maximizing sexual pleasure. Mindfulness meditation that includes a physical check-in with your body is another great idea. When you try these things, remember you don't have to be perfect or even mediocre. It's normal to be unskilled, even clumsy when trying something new, And that's perfectly all right, my dear. Trying new things is another part of exploring yourself, and is a success all of its own. I give you a gold star for participation. Really showing up, being engaged, and committing yourself to practice and patience and self-kindness really can be seen as most of the work, and is what I most want to see from you. As you go forward with your practice, balance facing and challenging your dysfunctional thoughts and behaviors with accepting who you are today as valid and essentially good. When you have the cognitive resources to challenge and reframe your self-judgments, the part of yourself that is internalized my message is there to reward you for your good mental health practice. Think of a time when you received care, attention, support, or felt seen and understood, and you felt loved. Generating that emotion now as you think of it. Feeling its shape and texture and movement. Perhaps love has a color or a vibration that you sense. Is it slow or fast? Perhaps in between, or even both. Holding that impression in your mind of a time you received care and you felt loved. Feeling that emotion of receiving love. Now think of yourself doing something caring for yourself, and continue to hold that emotion of receiving love. Seeing that you can do this for yourself, and that doing so can give you that wonderful feeling of being loved. Perhaps you see it as a caregiver part of yourself, providing for a dependent aspect. Or perhaps you see yourself in whole, giving love to your whole self. Either of these and other variations are just fine. You can love yourself and feel loved by yourself simultaneously. This is just how it can be when you practice self-care such as we've discussed today. Yoga, posture, exercise, mindfulness meditation, forgiving yourself and being kind to yourself, mindfully acknowledging any negative self-talk, and other forms of self-care. When you have the resources to work on these things, and you do, you feel that you are giving yourself love, a whole circuit of providing and receiving love. And this circuit empowers your healthy habits and your work toward fulfillment, and contributes excellently toward our goal of increasing your sexual pleasure. As you go forward, I want to emphasize patience. You don't have to have miraculous changes in your life overnight to be successful. In fact, focusing on changing one habit at a time while accepting your others is often the best way to proceed. When you awaken from this session, you will find you naturally have chosen a habit you want to improve on. Thinking of that now. Perhaps a bad habit to release, or a good habit to grow. It might be a habit you've been working on already, and you can just recommit to your goal. That's an excellent practice. Recommitting. Very good. With all of my suggestions and all you've learned about self-care and pleasure going deep into your mind, which will process and enact everything for your best benefit, we will bring you back up to the count of 5. You will awaken feeling refreshed, feeling capable, and knowing which habit you have chosen to work on improving. Very good. 1. We begin to gently ascend. You've been such an excellent hypnotic subject, and I appreciate your practice and engagement. knowing that every session is progress, even if sometimes it seems you struggle with attaining the sort of hypnotic experience you desire. That's okay. We can accept that too. There's nothing wrong with having an off day as a hypnotic subject. Someone once told me. We return to practice again. 2. Leaving trance behind a little more and a little more. Feeling yourself rising back toward conscious activity and control. Your conscious mind starting to awaken. And as you do, you can leave behind anything you don't need to consciously remember. You can recall the substance of this session without remembering all the details. Your mind will present to you what you need at the right time, and you don't need to worry about it. 3. Halfway back now, eyelids not so heavy, soon to open. Remembering where you are, remembering what you were doing before trance, remembering your plans for after. Able to wiggle the tips of your fingers and toes as conscious control gently seeps back into you. 4. Getting closer and closer, soon to break through the surface of trance and back into normal everyday function. Eyes opening, shifting your body in its place, able to stretch and yawn, and ready to return with 5. Wide awake, coming back to full wakefulness, and you may feel a welcome impulse to give yourself a hug, feeling that you can give yourself love as you do. That makes me very happy. I encourage you to drink water and have something sweet, perhaps dark chocolate if that suits you, when you get up. Going forward, you will soon find you've made progress in attaining more pleasure, and I encourage you to let me know. I might not have time to respond to every message I receive, but I love receiving them, and you can trust I read them all. Remember that I want you to practice safe sex. Inform yourself on best practices for sex acts you're interested in. Seek expert advice and supervision if possible. Get tested for sexually transmitted infections at sensible times, and expect your partners to be tested. This is your right. If you experience a markedly reduced sex drive for 6 months or more, talk with your primary care physician, as this symptom might be an indicator of a treatable medical condition. My hypnosis recordings are not a substitute for working with a healthcare provider who personally knows your medical history and needs. You did a great job. Remember to give yourself genuine rest and recreation, as well as working hard on your commitments and goals. That's the way to maximize health, fulfillment, and pleasure. I hope you join me for another session again soon. Bye for now. This is Miss Ink Noir. I have been your hypnotist for this recording. I so hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. It can be an even more powerful experience should you return to listen again. This file could not be what it is without the involvement of members of our community with disabilities who took the time to grow the collective understanding of their experiences and the experiences of others with disabilities, and I offer my thanks and appreciation. Additionally, I am indebted to asexual people who have worked to help non-asexual people like myself to understand them and their diversity, and indebted to sex researchers throughout history and everyone who has worked with them. Feedback and comments are welcome. My email address is missinknoir@gmail.com, and my Twitter is @missinknoir. I love to hear that people listen to the file. I also have a Discord server. Just let me know on email or Twitter if you want a link. Have a great day.